Hello everyone, Thomas Wooden Railway here, and welcome to the second part of the 5-year anniversary competition. Well, actually the belated 5-year anniversary competition. The second part of this video is to announce the winners and to reveal that the prizes that they chose, and to figure out what I'm going to do with those other prizes that ended up not being chosen by any of the users. So, like I said, this is a very belated video. I wanted to get this out by the end of May, but unfortunately some things came up, partially my fault and then partially just stuff I didn't expect to have to overcome, but I'll explain that towards the end of the video. Anyway, let's get started on the second part. I want to keep this video as short as possible, but you know what? That's probably not going to happen, so much for that disclaimer. But anyway, I'm going to just go down the line here and reveal the 10 winners and the prizes that they chose. I messaged them and let them know that they won. So unfortunately, if you did not receive a PM from me regarding this competition, I'm sorry to say you did not win a prize. But anyway, I hope you guys will at least stick around and watch the video to see what all the other people won, and to congratulate them and just to recognize that they did an awesome job on their videos. They worked very hard, and these prizes are just here to show that, you know what, hard work does pay off. So without further ado, let's get started. Let's move away from these 3 engines that we all know and love, and let's just start down the line here at the 10th place winner, and I'm just going to work my way up to first. So the 10th place winner had a username of ZanePawJock, and I probably butchered that, and I'll probably butcher a lot of these names, but it's either ZanePawJock or ZanePawJock. This user had a very nice entry. It was the 10th place winner. As you can see, he chose Splatter as his prize, and one thing that really stood out to me about ZanePawJock's video is he had a very cool layout. It was set up on a table similar to this, and it was covered in rocks, and it looked very realistic, in fact. Another thing that ZanePawJock did was that he used a relatively modern antagonist. A lot of people, since the 3 engines that I included in the first part of the competition video were Thomas, Percy, and James, a lot of people went for Gordon, Henry, Toby, even Duck, and used those in their video. But this user used a relatively new character, Norman, in fact, and it turned out very well. It was an enjoyable story with a very cool layout, and it didn't have fancy editing or anything like that, but you know what, you could tell what was going on, and that's really all that matters. So 10th place winner, ZanePawJock, and he chose Splatter as his prize. Moving on down the line, the 9th place winner chose the new unboxed Stafford here as their prize, and the 9th place winner is a user known as OliverDuck. His entry was unique because, in fact, it only had about 3 or 4 shots in the video, and it was really just him telling the story. But the cool thing about it is that he told it in such a way that I could easily connect to it, and I knew exactly what was going on. And a really cool thing about his video was that, for example, Zane over here used used Norman as his antagonist. The antagonist actually of OliverDuck's video was a river that he set up, and it was a very actually realistic river that looked quite nice. And his story, like pretty much every other video that's going to be mentioned here, was enjoyable. And so congrats to OliverDuck on your 9th place finish and for choosing the new unboxed Stafford as your prize. 8th place is a user known as TyJacked, and this user chose the 1996 Duke as his prize. TyJacked video was one of the first videos ever uploaded in this competition. In fact, it was the earliest video uploaded that ended up winning a prize. And so, as you can tell, based on that, if you uploaded your video later, it seemed as though you did better, and that's probably because you spent more time on it. But anyway, TyJacked did a very nice entry. It was enjoyable. My favorite part of the whole video was Thomas falling off the bridge and getting sent to the works. It was a fantastic video, a lot of cool editing in there, and almost got to the point where I was laughing out loud, and that was really nice and unique because, as we'll see later on, some of these videos, they do get very serious, and that's just fine, but this was a nice comic relief for this video. So congrats to TyJacked on his 8th place finish in this competition and for choosing the 1996 Duke. 7th place belonged to a user named Duck and Oliver Fan 12, and when I PM'd Duck and Oliver Fan 12 to let him know what he had finished and what prize he wanted so that I could release it in this video, he said he was very happy, but he said he did not want his prize. And I can understand that as being a person who doesn't want to release personal information on the internet. That's probably what the deal was, maybe even something else. But anyway, Duck and Oliver Fan, just because he didn't want his prize doesn't mean he's disqualified from the competition. So in the record books, it will always say that Duck and Oliver Fan 12 finished 7th, but he did not want his prize. So we're going to figure out what to do with that prize in just a sec. But his video was actually the only video in the top 10 that featured models other than Thomas Wooden Railway. He had a couple of Tomy engines in there. And I'll be honest, the editing was a little rough, but the story made up for it. And it was very simplistic scenes. He was very blatant and very, I don't know what the word is, I'm trying to think of it, but anyway, he was just very blatant, and the story came out, and you could just follow. It was a very easily followed story. That was it. But it was unique because he used Tomy engines, and there was nothing in the rules that said you couldn't, use any type of other, system besides Wooden Railway. And I know that a lot of other users don't have Wooden Railway. So, you know what? It just shows that your story rules all. It doesn't matter if you use Take-Along or Tomy, or even Bachmann or whatever. But if your story is good, then, you know what? It will be counted toward this competition as though you used Wooden Railway models. So congrats to Duck and Oliver fan 12, or sorry, Duck and Oliver fan 12, on your finish in this competition. 6th place belonged to a user named Mr. MPS 2002, and he won, or he chose the prize of the White Roof Rusty. Much like Duck and Oliver fan 12, his story was very straightforward. It involved the diesel, specifically Diesel 10, planting, I guess, you could really just be a bomb, essentially, around the railway and just trying to blow up the engines. It was enjoyable. It was straightforward. And, I really don't know what else to say. Nice editing. And overall, just a very, very nice entry. So congrats, Mr. MPS, on your 6th place finish and your new White Roof Rusty. So now we move into the top 5, and here we are with new in box Luke. This was won by a user named Henry is Great 15. Similar to MPS in the entry before it, straightforward, not very elaborate set design, of course. That's just the way Henry is Great 15's videos are. Nothing wrong with that, but that's just the way the video was. But it was well done. The plot was very, very enjoyable. That's probably your highlight right there. Plot was awesome, and you know what? It didn't. The editing was nice, and just trying to think of other things to say. It was just overall, it was a very, very good entry. Very solid entry like the last 3. So well done. 4th place, well done on Luke and your 5th place finish, Henry's Great 15. So 4th place belongs to a user named Mega Punch 824. And if I had to label somebody who finished in the top 10 as an underdog overall in this whole thing, it would have to be Mega Punch 824, because if for the people that watched some of the video responses, I think when a lot of people looked at it, they didn't expect this one to win because it didn't feature fancy editing or a nice set or anything like that. But what it is, I believe it is Mega Punch himself, is just sitting on the ground and he's just telling the story. But as a person who has done pretty much 9 out of 10 seasons without a script, I know how hard it is to do improvisation and tell a story without something to help you. And man, Mega Punch 824, he just rattled off this story and definitely knew what he was going to do. And I believe it was either, I presume it's a parent or older sibling or somebody like that, just held the camera and he just told the story, and the plot was excellent. And I really do give kudos to Mega Punch 824, because a lot of these people did have scripts that they used, and they used lots of editing, but this one was all done in just a few shots. He just took breaks to move the engines around. And you know what, Mega Punch 824, your hard work paid off. Congratulations. It was an excellent, excellent entry. 4th place is pretty darn good for not using any fancy editing or anything like that. So congratulations on Tiger Moth, which is what you chose for your prize, and your 4th place finish. Now, the next 3 that I'm going to show you were so close that, it was really hard to pick a winner. And, if I could have given everybody, if I could have given the next 3 people first place, all of them, I would have. But I had to decide, and this is how it's going to work out. So, in 3rd place is a user named Scuffed Engine. He was one of the few people who submitted an entry for the Thomas Wooden Railway competition I did back with Wooden Railway Reviews and Jay Louvier in September. He submitted an entry for that, and then he also submitted an entry for this one as well. And knowing Scuffed Engine's type of style and his video editing, his video was, it blew me away, but at the same time, I was not disappointed at all. Clever editing, cool camera shots, a crazy story at the beginning that all comes together at the end, really made this story stand out. In fact, it was so good that there were quite a number of users out there that also copied it, and that's why none of them won, because it appeared that Scuffed Engine was he came up with this idea to begin with. But Scuffed Engine, you did an excellent job. You know, you finished second in the competition back in September and third in this one, so you know what, you're on a roll right now. You're doing a great job, so congratulations on your third place finish. And Wilbert, second place belongs to a user named the Bluebell Engine. His entry was just so well rounded and so solid that, I mean, it was, he almost knocked the person off that eventually won first place. He was so close. It was just a very nice story. He used the diesels as an antagonist. It was nice editing. It was very similar to Scuffed Engine, where it was all confusing at the beginning and then made sense at the end. So congratulations, the Bluebell Engine. You finished second, and you decided to pick the 1992 Annie and 1992 Clarabelle. And finally, the ultimate winner of the Thomas Wooden Railway 5-year anniversary competition goes to a user named Thomas Wooden Episodes. For people who watch his videos on a regular basis, you know he does some really cool remakes. But he spent a lot of time and effort on this video. You could definitely tell it was well worth it because you ended up winning this entire competition. So well done. He pretty much, Thomas Wooden Episodes, answered every single thing that I pointed out in the first part of the video about, you know, the turntable missing, a side track missing. The editing on his crash scene, I believe it's James, yeah, it's James that crashes into the turntable, is so flawless, and he uses excellent music. And you know what? It was a very nice entry. Congratulations, Thomas Wooden Episodes, on winning. You essentially won the whole thing. Even though there were 10 other winners, you finished first, and you deserved it. So you'll get this 1992 Thomas here, and of course you'll get the 1994 James that I promised you. And so congratulations on winning the Thomas Wooden Railway 5-year anniversary competition. Now, if you've been paying attention really closely here, you will notice that there are 2 prizes left over. One from Duck and Oliver Fan 12, that prize he didn't choose, and then originally I was supposed to just have 1 prize left over, but I still want to give these prizes away because I feel I have no need for them, honestly. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little bit different here. This is just a lid to the top of one of my plastic bins that I keep my Thomas the Tank Engine Wooden Railway stuff in, just when I'm not using it, you know, because you have to have a place to store it. And essentially what I'm just going to do is take all of the prizes here, and I'm just laying them down randomly where I feel like it, and just going to take them and put them on this lid here. And really what it's going to be, it's just going to be luck of the draw. I'm going to give these 2 prizes away to just to 2 lucky people who have already won other prizes. And really it's just how it's going to be is I'm going to mix them all up here in a sec, and then I'm just going to reach down and pick one out randomly, and whoever it is ends up winning. First it's going to be Birdie here, and then it's going to be Terrence. So that's how it's going to work. So you're probably asking, how do we know that you're not going to cheat or play favoritism? This is how I'm going to do it. As you can tell, my voice is a lot farther away and it sounds a lot distant. That's because my head's turned around and I can't see what's on the camera as I'm looking at it right now. So if the camera goes a little bit off, for example, it might like end up over here or up there, you know, that's just because my head's turned around and I can't see it. Okay, so what I'm going to do, this is my left hand, I'm just going to mix them up, and as you can see, my head is turned around, You know what? I'm just going to keep talking so that, you know that my head's turned around. Let me bring it back here just for a sec. Alright, still moving around. It's just going to be random, okay? I think everything is still on the lid. Yep, it's still on the lid. Alright, I'm just going to reach down and pick one. Alright, this is Duke's Tender. That's what I meant to do. And Duke was picked by the 8th place winner, which was Mr. TyJacked. And so TyJacked, congratulations, you've just won an old style birdie. So there you go. Let me put birdie by Duke here. And I'm going to take Duke out just in case, so that, you know, we don't end up with 2 repeat winners here. Let me just mix them up. Once again, just kind of flip everything around. I hope this is kind of exciting for everybody. I've never really done anything like this. So now my head's turned around because my voice is a lot more distant. And I hope the camera's still on the lid. I can't tell. Hope it is, but I'm just going to reach down. I'm going to go over here this time. And it's Tiger Moth. Yep, Tiger Moth. So congratulations, Mega Punch 824. You've just won yourself a Terrence. There you go. There's Terrence. So hopefully that was a fun way to get rid of these extra prizes. I mean, I didn't really know what to do with them, and You know, it was just a fun thing. I just thought it'd be kind of fun to watch, and I hope it was, because I've never really done anything like that. But congratulations to TyJacked, who won, there he is, Old Style Birdie, and then Meg Pump 824, who won a New Style Terrence. So as I close, everybody, thanks for just making this video, or making these 5 years really enjoyable and special, and I've had a great time, and I hope you guys kind of enjoy this competition as just a way to celebrate. I want to thank you all for your excellent entries. There are around 54 entries that were legal, as in they people left them as video responses, but then there were a handful of other entries that people uploaded that were never set as video responses, so I couldn't count them towards the competition. So in total there were around 60 to 65 entries, which is a lot more than I expected, so thank you all for making it a success. I want to thank you all for being awesome, spectacular fans, and in the next coming days expect the beginning of remakes. Yep, that's my next project. Already working on the set right now off to my left, so it'll be interesting to see what they look like. Hopefully I'll do a good job. So thanks guys for being awesome fans, thanks for 5 awesome years on YouTube, and I hope to see you here back again soon.